Hey fellow tankers, it's Mobius Y here with another video for World of Tanks console. So today's video is a bit of gameplay in the Chinese 110 Tier 8 heavy tank. I'm actually quite enjoying this tank as I make my way down the Chinese heavy tank line. Getting very close to unlocking the Wheezy 111 Model 1.4, so you can expect a review on the Chinese 110 Tier 8 heavy tank pretty shortly here. Probably one of the first weeks of November is when it's going to be coming out. Now, these two particular games that I'm showcasing here, they're less about me and more about what other people, particularly those on my team, do. This first game here is the one where I'm basically pointing out that people do dumb shit. And if you're like me and you've been playing this game for a long time, you kind of expect that at this point. If you've been playing for at least, a year, 2 years, or in my case, 3.5 years, then it's just, it's part of the game. You just deal with it, right? And you really have no choice but to make the most of the situation as best as you can. So 20 seconds into the game here, I'm looking at the map. Not many people are really moving out of the spawn quite yet, but it looks like people are just going to kind of spread out kind of nicely. I'm going to be trying to go where I think I can be somewhat effective. This map is kind of a pain in the ass for tanks like the 110 or the IS-3, in my opinion. I just dread getting this map in these kind of tanks because it's really hard to make anything happen, so to speak. So I'm just pulling up, trying to see what's going on. We've already got an FE-4202 in the bowl on the west side of the map from the other team. He's way over there on my left. He's got a platoon mate over there as well in a motherland somewhere, I believe. Cromwell tried to pop a shot off at me, but he missed, thankfully. And right away, we're already down a tank. Our champion decided to be a champion and pretty much go right up over the middle and gets eviscerated. Big shock there. So, still taking a look at the map. It's a little harder to tell with the compass, but I can see already that we have at least 4 tanks going up to the hill on Prokhorovka. I'm just looking around wondering, where the heck is everybody? Why aren't we holding this middle? We just lost our hammer that was way in the back in K3 for some reason, who decided to just hang back there and try sniping all game. He got picked off by the FE-4202 in the bowl and his teammate in the motherland. So he basically got picked apart. So it's less than 2 minutes into the game, we're already down 2 tanks. And we've still got a nice train of heavies trucking along up to the top of the hill on Prokhorovka. And it's at this point I'm just wondering, what the fuck are these guys doing? Pardon my French, but that comes up often. I'm sure that's something a lot of people say very frequently when they're sitting down playing tanks for any given length of time. So I'm literally just here hanging out, trying to see if I can get shots on anybody. The only person that I really have shots on is this FE-4202, but not really a very good chance of even hitting him, let alone, doing some damage. And every time he pokes up, he pops back down behind cover before I can get a shot off. So I'm thinking, this is really not going to work out very well. So it's at this point, that's when the Gory Inich pulls up and I put a good shot into the lower part of his turret. That's one thing I like about the 110. It has really good standard pen, but one good shot in the Gory Inich followed by a really crappy shot at the Gory Inich. Shouldn't have even pulled the trigger on that one. That was just terrible. So looking across, we've got an OI, Tier 6 Japanese heavy tank. Way over by the bull side. He disappears, so I fire one blind. Pretty sure I didn't hit him. As if he kept moving forward, that definitely would have missed. But it looked a little bit, looked like I went a bit to the right from where I was aiming at. So the other team's trying to make something happen. KV3, gets a shot into me. One of the mediums on the far left gets a shot onto me. I get a second shot onto me. My engine's gone. I've already lost half my health. So things are going great. Looking across, there's a Cromwell making a dash over by the open field, so I try to line up a shot on him, pull the trigger way too late. Terrible shot at the Cromwell. Shouldn't have even fired on that one. The T-54 Mod 1 right behind me is getting absolutely massacred because this Gory Inich, the KV-3, and the Crafts Panther a little bit to my left are all shooting at him, so he just gets torn apart. And at this stage, I just have to try and make do with the situation handed to me. So I'm going to try and focus out the Gory Inich. Instead of backing up behind the dead body, for some reason I pulled out into the open field, and it gave him a chance to ram me. Quite the misplay on my part. Thankfully, me and the AMX 1375 were able to finish him off. Finally, somebody from the hill pops a shot into one of these guys here. So we have all these tanks up there on the hill, and only just now, one shot gets planted into one guy sitting over there. The Gory Niche managed to lose a lot of health to the guys that we got down low, so there was that. But it's already too little too late. Now I'm getting shot at from 3 different sides. Pop off a lucky shot at the Crafts Panther. Get a damaging hit, but my game's over. Thankfully, that game was only 5 minutes long. Looking at the map, we still have 6 tanks alive. One of them is the 1375 that was down low. Hanging out kind of behind the ridge, not spawning because what's the point? Everybody behind him was pretty much dead. We still got 5 heavy tanks sitting up on the hill. We had 6, but one of the OIs died. So 6 heavy tanks went up the hill on Prokhorovka. And if we look at the post game, I myself did not have a very good game. Didn't even break 2,000 damage, only 7 penetrations. And yet, amazingly, I'm at the top of the board somehow, both in damage and XP for my team. What the heck happened there? There was maybe one shot. There was one shot into that KV3 from the top of the hill, maybe 2, and possibly 1 or 2 on the Goryanich when they were pushing. But that was pretty much all that really happened from the top of the hill there. Apart from that, nothing. Absolutely nothing. We had the T-54 Mod 1 break 1,000 damage, but he got massacred as they started to encircle us down low. The OI that was up top somehow died pretty early. And the T-34 did break 1,200 damage, but that's only 3 pending shots. And I don't have it recorded, but I actually checked. They had about 12 shots fired, and only about 5 of them actually hit their targets. So what the heck was going on there, guys? Really, no real words for what's going on there. So that was an extremely unnecessary move by almost half of our team. We had at least 6 heavy tanks up there on that hill on Prokhorovka. There's no reason to bring that many heavy tanks up there. And something like a top-tier T-34 can definitely play the lower area a heck of a lot better. Put some pressure onto those mediums that are pushing into the bowl that was on the west side of the map, particularly where that FE-4202 was hanging out. You know, put some pressure in that area. That would help out big time. But it is what it is. So this game on Overlord, something slightly different. Some teammates not necessarily going to a very useful spot on the map, but they don't really have much of a choice, or they didn't have much of a choice because of how the rest of the team spread out. Now, me being me, I figured I'm going to try to take myself in the flat area over in E3, F4, that kind of area, right above the beachhead, as it's largely very flat, and I can side scrape, and I can also poke my turret out from a couple ridges and fight with anybody who's there, but I can also turn around and use the terrain behind me to fight with anybody who's up top above me. I didn't want to get too crazy because they had artillery in play, so I pretty much just pulled up right to this first rock outcropping, stayed put for a bit, just looking how everybody's moving. Now, a lot of our team went to the right-hand side of the map, the east side of the map. Over here with me is a Black Prince, and we have 3 heavy tanks going down onto the beach. We've got an OHO and 2 T-29s. So a pretty decent complement of tanks moving down to the beach. For some reason, we had a 4th heavy tank sitting up top that didn't go with them. Don't know why. But I guess they figured they could support the other 3 that were down low from that point. Now, the beach on Overlord is not a crucial area that needs to be, oh my god, get this area because we're going to control the map from here. That is totally not true. Totally not true on Overlord. But in this case, there's really nowhere else for these guys to go. Every other aspect is covered. So they actually did make the right choice in going down there because we had nobody over there. So they had the right idea of going, well, somebody needs to actually cover this area, and it can't just be this one other heavy tank that's sniping at the very back. So they actually did make the right move. So down here in this lower area in the middle, come across a Goryanich and a Tiger 1. So lots of HP that they both have. A good 3,000 HP that I'm going to have to work through. So figuring maybe I could get some help from our artillery. Possibly. I wasn't really counting on it. But I know I need to single out the Tiger 1 because his gun performs a heck of a lot better than the KV-5s. And he's the only one of the two that's actually consistently penetrating me right now. The Goryunich might have 1 pen on me, but the Tiger has at least 2, if not all 3 of them. So, bad shot on the Tiger there. Hit a bump just before poking up. Goryunich actually does penetrate me in that shot. So, I've lost a lot of health really early. Just trying to keep myself alive. Wiggling my hull whenever I can see the Goryunich is pulling forward. Also pulling back whenever the Tiger tries to line up a shot. So, simply trying to make the best of the situation here. Tiger hits the dirt. I pen the Goryunich again. Another shot into the R2-D2. Slightly misses, but goes into the lower part of the turret on the KV-5. Nice pen there. At this point, I can pick on either of these two guys. Bad shot at the Tiger 1. Either it totally missed or it dirted. Either way, that should not have happened. So pulling forward, Tiger 1 bounces. I pen him. Turn my back up and turn my front towards the Goryunich, because he's having some trouble penning me right now. So I block his shot, pull forward once more. Tiger 1's gone. So I've turned a 2-on-1 into a 1-on-1. And I'm still at a bit of a disadvantage because the Goryunich has more health than I do at this point, but he's struggling quite a bit with penetrating and actually inflicting damage on me. I know I've got the better performing gun, so I'm trying to make use of that. Putting shots into the lower part of his turret and his R2-D2, drop him down to a 1-shot. Finally getting somebody else to shoot this guy. The heavy tank that hung out at the very back is trying to shoot him, but I still managed to get the killing shot. So I have lost all my health at this stage, but I took out those 2 tanks almost single-handedly. Had some support from the other guy, but he wasn't able to make his shots go through, unfortunately. Was trying to tell the Black Prince to fall back, but I had the wrong screen open. So pulling forward, there's a Tiger 1, 2 Tiger 1s, I believe, actually, and an IS. IS pops a shot at me, and he bounces. So I figure I don't know who the heck to go for. I'm a 1-shot. Sorry, not another Tiger 1. It's an Oni, Japanese heavy tank, tier 7. So he's pulling forward. I put a shot right into his turret face. I just need to back down, buy myself some time so I can get my reload off and take him out. I know I can put another shot through his turret. He gets low enough to shoot at me, but bounces. I take him out. Tiger 1 knows I'm a 1-shot, so he's just going to go for it and rush me. I try to snap a shot off at the IS. All I did is track him. So I figured that I have more time to shoot the Tiger 1 than I do to shoot the IS. But the IS was not fully upgraded, had the smaller gun, therefore had a faster reload, and I basically gave him my side, unfortunately. So, although we lost the east flank in that game, the guys that went down to the beach held their own to prevent the other team from coming up on the beach and completely surrounding us. So, like I was saying, it wasn't really the best move in normal circumstances, but given the situation that our team was in, they made the right choice. They went to where they were needed because we had nobody there. We had nobody on that beachhead. And people being people, they always take the beach on Overlord. So me, myself, I finished that game, over 3,700 damage, farming it almost entirely from 2 tanks, a Goryunich and a Tiger 1. Just doing what I could in a situation. They weren't very good games, in my opinion, but they were, like I said, a little bit less about me and more about what the team was doing. Unfortunately, I just did not play very well in either game, in my personal opinion. But the 110 is such a good tank where I was able to pull off final results where I wasn't entirely upset with myself, to the point where I knew I could just keep on grinding for a few more games. But guys, please, 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 don't go where you want to go. Go where you need to go. Go where your tank can play to its strengths on the damn map. Go to where your team is going to need a little bit more support. If you're a heavy tank, you need to take your HP and armor in places where there's going to be some serious infighting going on. If you're more of a support heavy, support. That doesn't mean hang at the very back and try and snipe at people. You still got to use your big HP pools and your armor somewhere. All heavy tanks have some armor somewhere that can be used to block shots. It's fact. So please, by all means, do that. I trust you guys who actually watch my channel are the kind of players that do that because you want to get better at the game. So I'm going to stop lecturing you guys. I really appreciate you guys watching. Keep an eye out for a full review on the Chinese 110 tier 8 heavy tank. It'll be coming soon. This is a really good tank. I do enjoy playing it. I do enjoy grinding it. So I'll see you guys on the battlefield or in my next video. This has been Mobius for World of Tanks console. Thanks for watching. As always, happy tanking.